Sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen. Sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen. Sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen. Sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine. From a silver screen, sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen, sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen, sweet seduction in a magazine, endless pleasure in limousine. In the back shakes a tambourine, nicotine from a silver screen.
Bandidos, we are live. It's Monday, October 28th, almost 7 a.m. on the Pacific Standard Time. Are you on the West Coast? If you are up early like me. And if you're here to watch the Season 2 reveal, then you clicked on the right live stream.
Trying to dig their way out. I feel like an attack dog. How late you wanna stay out? It's past your curfew when it's dark. I'm searching for you in the park. Shady murdered him, another person. He just hit his mark. He met his quota for the month. They found a coda all rolled up inside a bag. He probably dragged the body for about a block.
What up, Bandidos? Welcome in, everybody. Let's get some music going up in here. It's going right. Just a little quiet. There it is. We'll turn it up a little bit. So in just 30 short minutes here, the devs will go live and reveal what we're going to expect finally in Season 2 after a very long wait. That's right, we have 120 days with every season, so that puts 3 seasons in a calendar year, not 4. And then we had a short delay, it wasn't too long, but 20 days delay between Season 1 and Season 2, as they had to make changes since we backed out seasonal characters, so they needed a little bit more time. But that did send a little cascading effect on everything, including Season 3. What's big about Season 3? Anybody? Anybody know what's a big deal about Season 3? So we're going into Season 2, but what about Season 3? Let me pull something up here. Give me a second. There we go. You should be looking at the roadmap I put together for the Division 2. This is based off of the intel that we're fed or that I can find. So as close to actual as possible, but roadmaps are always subject to change, no doubt. So if you look here, October 29th, we're just about there, right? So that's Shades of Red right there in the middle. So that's season 2. That's what we're going to get revealed today. And with it comes seasons 2.0. Give me a second here. I gotta type in something. Yeah, seasons 2.0 is kind of a big deal, right? So we've been playing in the same seasonal structure for, gosh, what did they say, 11 seasons? It's something like that. It's crazy, right? Long time. And so this is what we're talking about. So this seasonal calendar structure and how we engage with the new content. And so we typically get a manhunt that's spread across the 4 months. And then we get some global events and some leagues, a couple of apparel events, and then we get a rewards track with 100 levels that we tend to be able to grind in a couple of days if you want to, or you could take all season. And in there is caches and the new gear, the exotics, some apparel. And so when we say seasons 2.0, this is the part they're revamping. And it's desperately needed. Acolyte, appreciate you.
Ha! That's my boy!
Thanks for starting that hype train. So, like, it's... Oh, I'm sorry, you're not seeing the... I was sorry, I was showing you this. But yeah, this is our seasonal calendar. Sorry, I had that image up. But, you know, so it's typical, right? You guys know what this is. So, we got the manhunts, we got the events, and then we got the rewards track, 100 levels. So when we say seasons 2.0 is coming, that's the revamp of this system, and it's how we engage with the new content that they drop every 4 months. So it's desperately needed because, for one of the biggest problems with the current structure is that we get a community drop-off when the manhunt ends. So let me see if I can go to the manhunt menu here. So here we go. So it's usually dripped to us in 3 stages. Is it 3 stages or 4 stages? So we get basically 1 a month. And so it starts with Echo, Hercules, and then Leto. And then when Nyx, or the 4th manhunt section, is released, it also unlocks the ability to get to the final manhunt. So it's been like this, the same thing forever. And so what happens is the community finishes this section, this part of the content, and then it's peace out, see you later. We get a huge drop off. What up, Evan? Good to see you back, bro. And it's like, that's hard on clans. That's hard on the community, you know, who's trying to get help out there. People trying to matchmake, people trying to, you know, keep their party live, right? And it's just, there's a certain percentage of the community that in any game, but especially in looter shooters, that rely on actual like storyline, new content to feel engaged. And then there's the other half of the community that stay engaged because they're really into more of the technicals, and that keeps them going. And then there's this group that kind of crosses over who's into it for social. So if their friends are here, so are they. And so the first community drops off when they finish the new content. And then we don't see them again until the beginning of the next season. And which is great because they get to go experience other games, right? And that's awesome. And that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. But what if we could have a seasonal structure? Let me pop this image back up. So what if we could have a seasonal structure that keeps the entire community, both halves, engaged all 4 months in our case? And that's what I'm hoping Seasons 2.0 brings. So with Seasons 2.0, what we do know, right? So they launched the PTS. We saw it in 2 stages, and originally it had seasonal characters. The community didn't like that, so they backed that out. And that didn't, Seasons 2.0 and seasonal characters, although they were complementing of each other, they were still 2 distinct things. So the devs did have a route. They were able to back that out and then make some, minor changes and still produce Seasons 2.0. And then the season 2 is always a separate thing. So the seasons are the theme. So with the seasons, we get gear. Sometimes we get skills. We did in the past. We get a new manhunt or target or storyline, story missions. And then Seasons 2.0 is the infrastructure that we're going to engage with that content on. It's the platform. And so now we have something called seasonal modifiers, and that's what's going to be rotating from season to season. And so we can call that part of the seasonal structure now. And Seasons 2.0 is what revamped that. So along with the new gear and the new target, they're calling them something different now, the targets, but along with that new content and that new story, we're also going to get new modifiers. And modifiers, I still want to figure out how I want to explain this. I'm still working that out because it's a new concept. But what's good, DJ? It starts in about 24 minutes. 24 minutes is when it starts. DJ. 24 minutes, whatever time you're in. But I want to say they're kind of like our global directive. They're like our global events. They're basically like that, except they're kind of parted out. And so they, how global events they're basically game modifiers, right? So you play them and you get a buff, the enemy gets a buff, and then there's various buffs. So you have to earn that buff. So it's what do you call situational damage, right? So in this situation, you get this damage. And that's what modifiers are. So we're going to have a global modifier, one main one. And then we're going to have active modifiers that we can stack on top of that and pick and choose. And then the enemy's going to have modifiers too. And then we're going to have the seasonal journey, which is how we're going to engage with the content. And so they're going to spread that out more is the idea. And I think it's supposed to be on a weekly basis. We'll see what they say here. And then the seasonal rewards track, we've yet to see what this looks like. So we haven't had a peek. I'm not sure we're going to see it today, but I hope so. I want to know what that rewards track looks like. But with the modifiers, they say, they want us to unlock it relatively early. So with all the modifiers, you do have to earn them. They don't want it to take all season because they want us to use those modifiers. So you can grind them out. How fast? I don't know, but we're going to do it around here. What up, Rob? It doesn't, unfortunately. They're separate. I wish they could, bro. Good looking out, man. Yeah, they're doing a show. Ugly, they're doing a show, and we are going to watch it together live. So, anyways, that's kind of just a gist of what we're getting into today. What are the devs going to reveal? What did we see in the PTS that's going to be different in this reveal or actual launch? We saw a lot of rebalancing of weapons, and I've been covering those. And will they remain? Because they're always subject to change. One of the biggest ones, actually, is a video that I have coming out this morning, and it's the Dark Winter. It's got Perfect Killer on it, and that's getting a push to 90% crit damage. I think this gun is going to be like the #1 weapon in the game. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, you know, it's an SMG, so there's that, you know, it's situational, but like just from popularity, from buff, from power, 90% crit damage on kill for 10 seconds is insane. That's crazy good, guys. So I'm super stoked about that. Stay tuned for a video on YouTube hitting at 9 a.m. So as far as what you have to do to earn the Twitch drops, they don't start until tomorrow. So the Twitch drops are tomorrow, and all you got to do is watch. But you do have to make sure your account is connected. Like you have your Twitch connected to your console. If you don't know how to do that, or if you haven't done that, I do have a tutorial video on that. Make sure you follow me on the YouTube side. There should be links down below on the Twitch window. And I'll put up a post on how to do that if you haven't done that yet. So this is their page here, but that stream that you're seeing is the last PTS coverage there. So it's not the current one, but we'll keep this up because when they're ready to go live in probably like 5 minutes, we'll see a waiting screen, and then we'll do a sound check. Yeah, so as far as new gear, we got some interesting things happening, right? So we got rifles being a little bit in the forefront still. So they're giving us automatic rifle mode, so you can hold down the trigger. Now, they're still going to be semi-automatic. It's more of a quality of life thing, and so we're seeing this trend in other games too. You know, it's just really, I guess it's good for your tendonitis. And it's also helpful for your hardware when you're not slamming on that trigger to try to get your best RPM on your weapons. So that's why they're making rifles fully auto, but they're still gonna hold true to their RPM. So it doesn't really change anything, but it does help you with your consistency, I would say. But yeah, it's a nice thing to have in the game. But with that, they buffed the M1A Classic. It's back on top for sure. And then they made a change to the Aces gear set, which was typically just a gear set that was good for snipers only, mostly SVDs, but they made it so that it'll be applicable to rifles too. And so that's gonna be great. It's nice because it's kind of easy to use. You don't have to think about it too much, right? You just equip that set. You get these, there's a little bit of a variable with Dead Man's Hand on it, but it's just point and shoot. We like that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be running that one with the M1A. I'm excited for that build. Stay tuned for that. Ongoing Directive gets a buff. The chest piece gets a push to 50% amplified damage on the chest piece. That's like glass cannon numbers right there. That's insane. And then we have a new exotic holster coming, and finally a good one. So this one's going to be based kind of like Versatile, where you get a buff by switching weapons, but one of the buffs is weapon damage and RPM together. And then when you switch to the other one, it's what is it, mag size and reload speed, I think, something like that. So that's a great holster. It's a great holster. I mean, it requires weapon swap, so it's not going to be perfect for every situation, but SMG players, yeah. It could be one over skill use. Yeah, the bumpers, yeah, we use them a lot, right? My bumpers go out too. Let's see what other exotic we're getting. We're getting the exotic, it's called the Strega. It's an assault rifle. It basically tags nearby enemies, applying damage to them. Kind of like a negotiator's dilemma gear set, but in a weapon. So that's gonna be pretty cool, pretty easy to use. Am I forgetting an exotic? Is there just two that were revealed? We get a new gear set called Virtuoso. That's gonna be designed for rifles. It's mostly built on range, and there's a weapon swapping element too. Virtuoso, Virtuoso, Virtuoso. Let's see what we have here. Let's make sure I didn't miss an exotic. Looking at the patch notes. New gear. So Virtuoso, 2 pieces equipped gives you weapon handling and mag size. 3 pieces give you weapon damage. And then you got a talent called Symphony. I guess it's not really for rifles. It does incorporate everything, but I don't even want to read Symphony, but it's all based on distance. When you kill an enemy further than 30 meters, you get 30% weapon damage to shotguns, SMGs, and pistols. So it's kind of got to be like a weapon swap thing. Kill somebody with your rifle, switch to your shotgun, get that damage. Yeah, sounds a little complicated. We'll give it a try though. And then we got a brand set called Legatus. It's not super appealing. It's going to give you 30% swap speed, 50% optimal range, and 15% weapon damage. Things we don't typically like to build in. And then we have a new named mask called Visionario that's going to give us 50% optimal range. Maybe good for shotguns or pistols, but would you rather run something else? You know what I mean? Instead of 50% optimal range? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it drops. You know, it'd be nice if it's an extra slot. What up, Enigma? What time it drops? It's you know, they're gonna anticipate probably 3:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. But will it really drop then? Yeah, it looks like it's just 2 exotics. It's just the 2 exotics. So the assault rifle and the holster. They are reworking the Mosquito though. They added a 40% more damage to armor from all sources. That's huge. That's a big deal. Because it was kind of worthless, right? The Mosquito. Any Mosquito users out there? The Twitch drop starts tomorrow. And they'll run, I think, a couple of weeks. I gotta say, it's quite amazing that we're here. I feel like it's a long time coming, don't you guys? I've actually been, yeah, it's tomorrow, Marco, tomorrow. Mañana. I know that's not Portuguese, but Riberia. They're supposed to start in 11 minutes. 11 minutes, Elysian. You think we'd have a starting soon screen now, but maybe they're gonna cut it a little closer. Stalter, what's good? What's good? Getting ready to gear up, man. We're pumped. My dude's locked, stocked, ready to drop. Baddies. Feeling good about this new update? I say that I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm so about it. I'm nervous. You know, I'm nervous because I want this season to hit hard. You know, I'm always rooting for the Division 2. You know, and I've expressed my concerns in the past about how connected the developers are with the community, and I feel like they miss the mark a lot. But they've also landed in the past, and so I'm hoping that this is one of those. But the modifiers make me a little nervous because, for one, in the long term, they can override our emphasis on builds, because there's some good that comes with the modifiers and there's some bad, but the good can be so good that it can be like, you know what, just run whatever fucking build you want. You know, it doesn't really matter, guys. It doesn't really matter. It's like that with Golden Bullet, right? I mean, we make builds for Golden Bullet or reanimated global events, but it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't really matter what build you have when you have the buff active, right? It's sort of like, run whatever you want. You're slaughtering everything. The amplified damage from Golden Bullet is just so crazy. The DPS is so crazy. You got an auto reload. It's like, do whatever you want. And the modifiers could do that to our builds. Now, there's situational damage, so, you know, it's probably not. But maybe to a degree it can do that. It can nerf not our build, but nerf our investment, our mental investment into our builds. And so in the long term, that's what worries me. This is something that wouldn't play out immediately. This is something that would play out over maybe several seasons or months. So that's what I have my eye on. And that's my biggest worry about the modifiers. But on the other end, it makes the game a lot more casual for newer players, because they can jump in and feel that power basically on day one and not have to worry about their build so much, because they're going to have this power as long as they meet the conditions, whatever the condition is. So that could be great for casual players or people that don't invest in build so much.
About yourself.
Izzo #1, welcome in.
It's all right not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least
So good.
expect it.
You don't need to know how to spell to be here. They changed the start time? I have it at 7:30 a.m. What up, Scott?
It is your duty to learn how to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, let me show you what I'm looking at. See there, it says 4:30 CST, 10:30 a.m., and then 7:30 a.m. They pushed it? Where does it say that? Oh man. All right, let me find it. Hold on. These guys, man. That makes it hard on me. Oh, they did. Oh my God. I just see it. Found it. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to hang out here for a little bit. Shit, we're here.
You are here to discover the deepest truth about yourself. It's all right not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it.
They linked the original post with the wrong time still. They should just delete that post. Fuck.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow.
I hope when they go live, it doesn't do that. So it's always like that, you know, because the patch to update is supposed to be about 3 hours. And so I log in, getting ready to go so we can be there on like minute 1. And then they'll say 2-hour delay, 4-hour delay. Let me launch my video and give me a second. I'm going to launch my new video and then we'll see if we can watch it. So it's a new build video talking about the Dark Winter. Yeah, they should have just dropped the trailer. That'd been tight. All right, give me a second. Get this going. For a minute, and then let's see. Hopefully this isn't too loud for you. Let me know if you can hear this. If somebody doesn't mind letting me know as soon as I hit play. This is the new build video. Thanks, Torpedo. Thanks, Matt. There are a few weapons in the Division 2 that have been around since the good old days and have helped define this game. And today, we're focusing in on one of those, the Dark Winter. And guess what? It's getting an epic buff for Season 2. Let's get into it.
piece of shit wristwatch.
Bandido's back with another one, and we are drawing ever so close to the Season 2 launch, which is on October 29th, Tuesday. But join me on Monday morning to check out what the devs have to reveal as far as Season 2. Let's see where they landed with all their updates. So the devs rebalanced the game, and they made a lot of changes to gear, exotics, and weapons. And one of the weapons that's getting sort of a nerf and a buff is the Vector 45. So just to get the easy part out of the way here, the Vector 45 went from a 4430 base weapon damage to a 38295. So small adjustment there, but the RPM maintains, the base mag maintains, the reload goes up, which kind of sucks. The optimal range stays the same. So everything you see on the left is prior to Season 2, and Title Update 22 is the Season 2 update. The most exciting change that affects the named version of this Vector 45 is the killer talent. The new talent reads like this: killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 70% critical hit damage for 10 seconds. It used to be 40% critical hit damage for 10 seconds. So that's a big change. That's the standard version. On the perfect version, it goes from 50% critical hit damage to 90% critical hit damage. Meet the Dark Winter. You've probably been acquainted, but this is the weapon that hosts Perfect Killer. So as you can see, it says 50% critical hit damage, and as of Season 2, that's going to push to 90%. That's a big deal. So although the weapon itself is getting a little bit of a nerf, the talent is getting a stellar buff. 40% increase in crit damage is much welcomed, and that puts this SMG basically back on top. I don't think this is just going to be the best SMG in the game. I think this might be the best weapon in the game now. And I think that's what the devs want. It was always a weapon that everybody sought after. It was always a very highly used weapon. And it's kind of interesting with this rebalancing that a lot of the core weapons of the Division 2 are coming back to being the kings. So we're seeing this weapon. We're also seeing the M1A get a buff, and the Magnums get a buff, and a lot of other shifts to the meta too. So kind of neat. For you new players out there, you're going to want to know how to get the Dark Winter. Now, it's not as hard as it used to be. This is a Dark Zone exclusive weapon. It used to be that you could only get it from the Dark Zone or a Dark Zone vendor. A lot of the game has changed. They've opened up the ability to get weapons without going into the Dark Zone now. There's two main ways to get it, but all of it boils down to named item caches. And the main ongoing ways to get named item caches are: one, through global events. Like right now we have Golden Bullet active, and so you can earn red stars by playing that global event, and then go to this seasonal vendor and you can buy named item caches and roll the dice and hope you get the weapon. The other way that you can do is countdown. So if you play a countdown, you'll earn countdown credits that you could spend at this station. And there's a named item cache here that you can buy. If there's no global event running, this is your way to try to get the Dark Winter. Otherwise, go into the Dark Zone and hope you don't get robbed. A lot of us run damage to targets out of cover for our SMGs, and they come with a really high crit chance, which is great because that makes it a lot easier to put together a crit build, and SMGs do really well there. 1200 RPM, 45 rounds in the mag, and I have a lot of crit chance. But one of the things I wanted to showcase with the build that I have for you today is just how versatile the Dark Winter is, or the Tactical 45. So it's got a really interesting underbarrel. It's one of the few SMGs, and I mean few, that can actually host the linked laser pointer, which is neat. So that means it pairs up nicely with Technician. That's how you get that laser pointer, and that unlocks the capability to run Heartbreaker, which I might add is also getting a buff this coming season. This build that I have for you is taking advantage of 3 buffs coming in Season 2. One from the Vector, the Dark Winter, another on the Heartbreaker, and finally the Backpack talent. But let's take a closer look at Heartbreaker. So this is the standard pre-buff version. It gives you assault rifle LMG damage. We're ignoring that. Like the weapon handling. Heartstopper gives us headshot supply pulse for 5 seconds, but since we're running the laser pointer, we're not worried about that. But that's how you're going to get your stacks. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies at a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% weapon damage to pulsed enemies up to 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost every second. So I said the devs are going to be buffing Heartbreaker. This is it. The 4-piece talent is where the buff is going to be. Headshot supply of pulse for 5 seconds. That's the same. Weapon hits on pulse enemies add and refresh a stack of 1% bonus armor. That's the same. And 1.3% damage to pulsed enemies for 5 seconds. Max stack is 50. So there's the buff. It's going to go from 1% weapon damage to 1.3% weapon damage. The stack is still going to be the same. So it's going to go from 50% weapon damage to 65% weapon damage. So 15% more weapon damage when you're just running the 4-piece gear set. But if you run the chest piece like we are, that's going to be 130% weapon damage. What's attractive about the Heartbreaker gear set is that SMGs need bonus armor. And right now I'm running Versatile as a backpack talent. We'll talk about this. It's getting a perfect version. The backpack slot is where all of our bonus armor usually comes from. Gear set allows us to get damage stacks as well as bonus armor stacks without requiring the backpack slot. Now there is a backpack for Heartbreaker that doubles your bonus armor and it gets really high, and I like that backpack, but I thought I'd showcase this new weapon talent on the backpack, which I'll get to in a second. Just to get this out of the way, I'm running the Coyotes mask so that we get that 25% crit hit damage buff at short range. For the stats, I'm basically running crit damage everywhere. Now, the reality is that some of this is gonna have crit chance. I wish it didn't, but mine's just kind of stuck with that right now. So there you go. And then here are the knees and the gloves. And that puts us at 1.3 million armor. And our total crits are at 59% crit chance and 132% crit damage. The chest piece has this talent called Max BPM. So this is going to increase your max stacks from 50 to 100. I almost always run the chest piece when I run Heartbreaker. It's not just 50% more damage, which in the future is going to be 65% more damage. It's also more bonus armor. If you run an alternate like Spotter or even Obliterate, then yeah, you can get more burst damage, but not more total damage, and you don't get more bonus armor, which is what we're really after. As far as skills go with whatever, and then a shield, but I try not to rely on it too much because it slows you down. And bonus armor gives you shielding that allows you to move faster on the field. The backpack I'm running is Palisades to give me some 10% armor on kill. I like that. And then we got crits everywhere here. And then the talent called Versatile. This one's been here since basically day one. And you get amplified total weapon damage for 10 seconds when swapping between your primary and secondary weapons. Now, most of us don't use it for other weapons outside of the SMG shotgun combo because those other ones are really hard to control the ranges, but for SMGs it's easy. You kind of always know when you're in or outside of that 15 meters. That's 35% amplified damage for 10 seconds just for swapping your weapon, which is amazing damage. That's strong. This is a new backpack that we're getting in season 2. It's going to be called the Vigil, and it'll be hosting Perfect Versatile. It'll be part of the Legatus brand set. So this is going to give us, all the stats are going to be the same, but it's going to be 45% more amplified damage instead of 35 when using shotguns and SMGs, which is huge. Because it's a perfect talent, it's going to be stuck with that brand, which means you're going to get the 30% swap speed boost to your weapons, which is nice, but I rather have something else. So we're gonna have to see if we like that 10% amplified damage. The question on this build or in many others will be, do I want that 10% amplified damage or do I want that 10% armor on kill? And that's a tough question. But either way, it's a great talent. It always has been, but because of our need for bonus armor, we rarely run it. And by running Heartbreaker, we have a little bit of a workaround because we can have our bonus armor and our damage too. Because we're running the Dark Winter, which is going to have 90% crit damage bonus very soon, then it's going to be a very powerful build, this setup. So I recommend giving this one a try. So the thing about Versatile that you have to be careful with is you have to think about what talents you're going to run with this, because a lot of talents, including Perfect Killer, will disengage when you swap weapons. And so you have to think about your timing and you have to think about when you're going to swap or when's a good opportunity to swap. Now, the good news is that 10 seconds doesn't last for very long. So I thought about this. When the timer times out, which is going to happen a lot more than we like it to happen, then that's obviously going to be a great time to swap to your shotgun and pick up some of that amp damage while also stacking your Heartbreaker stacks. And then when the timer exhausts on that one, switch back to your SMG. So I'm running the Rock and Roll as the other weapon, and I'm running it with the Link Laser Pointer also. This is my main stacker. I'm using this to build up those 100 stacks on Heartbreaker, and it feels really good. If there's a weapon that could use the amplified damage, it's this one. So what do you guys think about this Dark Winter change with that 90% crit damage? Is that insane? Is this going to be your go-to SMG? Is it going to be your #1 weapon in the game? Or do you have your eye on another? Thank you for hanging out with me today. There we go. That's my spiel on the Dark Winter, a very exciting weapon. Always has been good, and it's going to be so much better. So if you didn't catch what I was talking about there, or the detail on that, it's the talent that's getting a buff. It's going from 50% critical hit damage to 90% critical hit damage. And this has always been a really good gun, and they just made it extremely powerful. And it's going to be fun to run. The Dark Winter rock and roll combo, whether you run Striker or Hunter's Fury, or as I showed there with Heartbreaker, all good options. And it's gonna be fun again to see this one back on top. This, like, if there's a weapon that defines the Division 2, this is one of them. This one, the Pestilence, the Merciless, like these weapons are like at the core of this game, and they've always been good. And then they've kind of been or lost their time in the light because of some new ones, like the Ouroboros. Like the Ouroboros was so good, you didn't have a reason to run this weapon anymore. And so with the nerf of the Ouroboros, and then they didn't just nerf the Ouroboros, but they buffed this talent. It really swung that pendulum the other way. And now this weapon is going to be what I'm predicting to be the #1 weapon in the game. Be really strong. The talent itself is getting a buff, so even if you're not running the perfect talent, I think it goes to 70% over instead of 50. So that makes it really good for LMGs and assault rifles too. So the talent is just going to be good. The drops are going to start tomorrow. It's the Halloween apparel, I guess we'll say. But one of them is a mask, and you only need to watch for 3.5 hours to get the mask. So yeah, put me on mute, put me in the background. Well, you do what you gotta do. But it's a cool looking mask. Do you guys want to see that stuff? I can show you that. Give me a second. Let me put it up here. Let's see, where did I put that? Oh, I know. It's in there. Halloween. Oh my God, Halloween. It's just in a few days. Let's see here. Which one's good? Here we go. Oh, that's too big. Let's fix that. There we go. That's more like it. All right, 29th, it's tomorrow. That's launch day. And looks like you're gonna get an exotic just by watching 15 minutes there. Easy peasy. And then 30 minutes, you get a couple of named item caches. So there's your Dark Winter right there. And then you get Spider Pumpkin, Trick or Treat badge. Hey, that's cool. That's the first time we get a little themed badge like that. I'm actually pretty excited about the little devil, the backpack trophy. I think he's gonna look cool hanging off my backpack. But the mask, I'm into masks. So yeah, I'm all about that. I'm gonna watch him on stream. 3.5 hours is no biggie. And that is Super Bandido for sure. It's kind of Mexican. It's kind of samurai. Kind of Spanish. That's sick. It's a good looking mask. Tomorrow, Kunal, tomorrow. Little demon baby. Yeah, little demon baby. Yeah, you just have to watch on Twitch. Yeah, you gotta be watching Twitch. Hey, you know what? Let me just go ahead and find that video because I bet you a lot of people are gonna have questions about that. Give me a second here. Let me get this, find this video link. Because you have to link your account to Twitch. And I made a video on how to do that a while ago.
This year, Portland's using a new voting system, so remember to return both your federal and local ballots.
Okay, here we go. It's for an old event that the division had, but the steps are the same. Man, we've been covering this game for so long. We got a video about everything. Let me turn off my heater. Give me a second. I think they did make that skin available at one point, didn't they, guys? Like, let's see if it's in the store. We get that question a lot. I don't mind looking. Weapon skins. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is right now. They did bring it back for a minute a while ago. It was part of some event. That's easy money, right? I mean, some things they don't do that because it was exclusive, and so for some event, and they don't want it like maybe it was a season rewards track, and so people would, you know, pay money for the season rewards track, so they don't want to discount that, even if it's many months or years later. Some of these are pretty cool though, huh? Wow, look at that Black Friday. It's bright. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's available though. It's lame, huh? The Savage Wolverine, I had to buy that skin. That skin is sick. The FAMAS has had a lot of skins in its days. Sarah's joined us. Everybody, you are blessed. What up, Sheriff? Twitch account link coming up. But no worries, Sheriff. The oh, you probably already know, but the drops start tomorrow on launch day. Hopefully that link helps answer your question, Easy Rider. I'll post maybe an updated version. It's the same steps though. So the question I keep getting asked is, what do I really think about season 2? I mean, if you've been following my channel, I think I've expressed my real feelings on season 2, you know, so, but I don't mind stating them again. It's, you know, I say that, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic. Am I excited? Yes, I am. I am excited. We need something new in this game, whatever it is. I mean, we're kind of at the position like, I'll take it. That's sort of sad and desperate, but it's real. You know, because the last new thing we've got in this game was Paradise Lost, and that was over a year ago. So, and they did a good job with that, by the way. But as I was saying earlier, I am worried about the modifiers. They could be disastrous on one end. If it feels like you're running directives all the time, and if that bugs you, then this might feel that way, and you might find that you rather turn off the modifiers. You know, yeah, they give you power, but I don't want to be bothered by running into an invulnerable enemy, as an example. Like, why go through all this trouble, you know, to make this really amazing build just for it to be even more situational than it already is? Why make the enemies tankier than they already are? They're already bullet sponges. And so these modifiers do those things. And so directives, you know, I don't play with directives all the time. I only play with them when I have to, when I'm looking for XP or I'm showcasing. But think about a directive, you know, you work hard to make your build, and the enemies are already spongy, and then you give them the ability to be tankier with Ragers. You take away your ammo so that your SMG runs out of ammo, and then you have to use your pistol to earn it, and so you're barely using your primary weapon. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. It's like, it's sort of painful, directives. They're supposed to be, because, you know, it's for the XP, right? Or if you're looking for the challenge, which I get that, but all the time, you know, sometimes you just want to have fun and play the game, you know? So I just worry about the modifiers. Are they how intrusive are they? So we'll see. We'll see. We want them to complement our build, not take over our builds. You know, and by take over, I mean, you know, they get to the point where maybe the power boosts are so strong, because that's what some people say. You're going to feel so powerful. You can feel so powerful. That's not really great, right? Because, I mean, it is for a minute. We're all going to be excited about that for a minute. But at some point, we're going to be like, well, run whatever fucking build you want. I mean, when that power thing hits, I mean, you're just slaughtering everybody. It's like Golden Bullet, right? We love Golden Bullet, but I don't think we'd really want Golden Bullet all the time, would we? I don't know, Big. I don't know, man. I'm there with you. I think I'm going to be grinding. I mean, I think the grind is still going to be a grind. I probably won't turn on global directives at first, though, because I'm just going to want to see, Big J, how it runs. You know what I mean? No, you didn't miss anything, Convoy. They delayed, so we're on hold. They pushed the stream out an hour and blamed it on us. Said we were confused. Which I thought was kind of funny. And, you know, you hear this a lot. Tomorrow is the new content. In 30 minutes is the live stream revealing the new content, the final reveal. So one of the comments you see a lot is people are saying this isn't new content. It's not new content. Well, you know, technically it is, right? When you get a new piece of gear, that's new content. But yeah, I know what they mean, right? We know what they mean when they say that. They're like, I want more missions. I want, you know, a new game mode. And I agree. That's the other thing we're gonna have to look at here is that, wow, so we got this new experience, but we're layering that experience on the same missions. How will that feel? I'm not super worried about that right now, personally, because I've learned that even a new build, like when they give us a new gear set, for example, and it's good, or a new exotic and it's good, I mean, I can play the same mission over and over and over again, and it'll feel different because I'm experiencing it different with a different build, you know, and that's the real content. That's the real replayable loop. Not for everybody though, right? So that's like for half the community, I should say. The other half of the community does rely on actual missions and story and new game modes, and they need that to feel like they're getting something in the game. And I understand that a lot, you know. And then a lot of the community really relies on the technical things like the builds and the balancing of weapons and stuff like that, you know. I don't know, Major. I don't suspect the price will change. I have no reason to suspect that. It's a good question, though. It's a great question. The reveal starts in 30 minutes. They delayed. So if you showed up thinking it was going to be at 7:30 and you just got here, you're late. But so are the developers. So lucky, we're all in luck, I guess, huh? Let me put back on my calendar here real quick. So here's the current roadmap. We're right there towards the middle. So as you can see, season 1 ran a little long. When 140 days when you include the throwback event. That pushes out our date for season 3, unless they do something tricky there, which I don't expect that. But that pushes season 3, which would be our DLC, onto February 28th. Is that leap year the next day? Did we get it 29th and 25? Yeah, so that's 2025. And that's what we're hoping for. So these things go together. Seasons 2, Seasons 2.0, and then the DLC. This is going to be in Brooklyn, New York, so it's going to extend our map there. Make New York feel a lot bigger. No leap year. All right. So last day of February, if things go as planned, of course. In between now and then, this is interesting. We're supposed to get Division Resurgence in December. But I commented on my last sit rep video that, man, they've gone calm, silent. There's nobody at the helm back there, man. Have you guys heard anything from Resurgence? I looked at their activity. The last activity on their social was 3/28, March 28th. And they had a closed beta test. And that's the last we heard from them. What was interesting about that was the next month is when Division Heartland got the chopping block. Yeah, the DLC is still supposed to come. They did say, Daria said, and she probably wasn't supposed to, but she said it anyways, like, the DLC is still coming. You know, we're working on it. That's still coming. She said that last stream. And I don't think she was supposed to, right? But a lot of me was thinking she was saying that because of what was going on with Ubisoft, right? They're in the middle of a crisis, a financial crisis. So it started with, what did it start with? Heartland gets the chopping block. X-Defiant, their golden child, and entry into the free-to-play FPS arena is struggling. That was revealed. And they had somewhere south of 20,000 concurrent players per day. So they were saying, like, wow, if we had 20,000, that would be good. You know, that's what they were saying. So it was leaked that if they don't get their numbers up by December or season 3, then they were going to lose their post-launch support. So that's crazy because they kind of went all in on that game. They pulled resources from the Division to X-Defiant. They pulled Red Storm into X-Defiant. They closed Heartland and they rolled all those resources into X-Defiant, and then X-Defiant fails. Ouch. And then we see Assassin's Creed, one set in feudal Japan. What do we call that? Shadows? Is also struggling before launch. So they started canceling tours. They're getting big backlash from the Japanese community, who's sensitive about their history. And Ubisoft took too many creative liberties. And that had a ripple effect in that game. So it's not going well. They decided to push that one out 3 months. They delayed Assassin's Creed by 3 months. Is that going to solve the issue? Probably not. But it's still a good game, no doubt. A lot of people love that game, Assassin's Creed, but it needs to hit hard. And then Star Wars didn't. So there was another one right there. And Avatar, we don't hear much about Avatar. I think it might do okay globally. But yeah, we don't hear much about it, right? Like, and so Avatar and Star Wars were licensed games, which means that they don't make as much profit on those games. And they put it's more of a long-term play, and they put tons of resources on that. And I don't think Avatar really hit hard, and Star Wars didn't. I mean, they just crossed 1 million players or sales. What was it? Sales? Yeah, I think 1 million sales on Star Wars is what it was. They just crossed it recently. And that was like kind of embarrassing how long it took them to get there for such a major title. That's Star Wars, people. Either Star Wars is losing its allure or the developers did something wrong. maybe both. Either way, no bueno for Ubisoft. So that is, what was it? The straw that broke the camel's back, and we see a share price at an all-time 10-year low. And now Ubisoft finds itself in a buyout scenario. And that might be Tencent, the Chinese gaming giant, purchasing it, who already owns a significant share of that Ubisoft pie. How is this relevant? Well, these are the guys that back the Division 2, right? So this is the Division 2 we're talking about. These are our resources. So Garrity, Julian Garrity, which I think his title is creative director. He was the guy that was behind the Division 1. And he's also the guy that was behind Star Wars. That didn't go well. But maybe that's not his fault. Who knows? But he's transitioning, or he's supposed to have transitioned into the Division 2. And I'm not sure he's done that yet. Or Division 3, I should say. Sorry, Division 3. And I'm not sure he's done that yet. He might have his hand in a couple of cookie jars here. Because Star Wars is struggling so much, it would be a mistake for Ubisoft to let go of their captain at a time where this ship is sinking. You know, so he's probably still like consumed by Star Wars, and at the same time trying to get the ball rolling over here at the Division 3. So we know they still have plans for the Division 3, but when will it be produced? And will it be produced? That's still a question. Now, Tom Henderson, who owns Insider Gaming, he's an investigative journalist for the gaming industry and a very well-respected guy. People respect his opinions. Somebody asked him directly just a couple of weeks ago what he thought about the Division 3 and its launch date, and he said 3 years for Division 3. Three years. And I thought about it for a second, and it didn't take me too long. I was like, yeah, that sounds right. You know, doesn't it? Because of the divisions, or Ubisoft's, or Massive, whoever you want to pin it on, the developer cycles are about 2 to 3 years for them to launch a game. So, yeah, that seems reasonable. Now, what's interesting, though, you gotta say, is that puts actually a lot of pressure on the Division 2. What does the Division 2 do for 3 years? You know what I mean? That's a lot of time to buy. What are we gonna do for 3 years? It could be good news, though. I kind of think it's good news, right? Because that would mean more investment, right, Bartos? 3 years, spring 2028. Yeah, that's a good date. I'm with you, Bart. But yeah, so I mean, that could be good news. The way I see it is like, okay, that's cool. That means they're gonna be like, all right, well, let's keep this Division 2 community strong, and you know, pump in some more new game modes and whatever. But because, you know, let's just be real, the Division 2 has never really had its full chance. It had its launch, it had Wony, things were going well, and then the pandemic, right? And then shit hit the fan. Developers were all working from home. They started recycling content. It just went horrible from there. And that was the stopping point. This is supposed to go live in 20 minutes. On the flip side of that coin is though, so yeah, so one side is great, maybe we'll get a lot more investment. The other side is, well, maybe they'll be cannibalizing our resources because the Division 3 will need support. So we have the skeleton crew on Division 2, and that skeleton is going to start losing limbs. You know, because the Division 3, they need to be there. They need those resources. They need that history of development. You know, yeah, they can always hire new resources, but wouldn't it be helpful to have experienced developers that are experienced with the Division franchise to be working on Division 3? Not some new Joe Schmo from the outside. And so that's something to think about, you know. Could make development a little bit more rough. Yeah, they're streaming today, Zappa. We're waiting for them to go online. I'm watching in the background for when they do. They delayed. They delayed. They were supposed to go on 45 minutes ago, but we're about 15 minutes out. Pain in my rear. Oh, it looks like they got their waiting screen on. Okay, give me a second. We'll get this rolling here. Oh wait, never mind. That's the old PTS one. They still haven't got their waiting screen yet. It's an old one. Still waiting. Ooh, new factions would be cool. Yeah, I'm with you, RD. Like, I don't have much sympathy for Ubisoft. You know, I don't. It's like, the way that they handle the community is just really, ugh. We deserve better. We really do. And I get tired of complaining about it. I'm exhausted talking about their poor community management performance. It's frustrating as shit. You know, I could talk until I'm blue in the face about it, and they're not going to change anything. I mean, yeah, I would love to see the Division IP be sold to a studio that would care for the community more. Prediction for tomorrow? Well, I do predict that there will be a launch delay. Not being pessimistic, going off of experience. So it would, in theory, launch by 3:30 in the morning. But I know they're going to have a 2-hour delay. It's going to be frustrating. I think it'll just be a 2-hour delay, though. I don't know, though. Could be 4. Chris, I am so excited about that build. You have no idea. You have no idea. We're talking about the M1A build. The M1A Classic is getting a huge buff, and we've got it to work in the past for it to be able to chain kill headshots using Determined. All right, they got their waiting screen up, so let's do this. Yeah, I think it'll be great. It'll be better. Fully auto. I'm not super. That won't be super helpful with that kind of build, but it'll be nice. All right, let's get this going. Okay, let me kill my music. Let me kill the game sound. Let's close you. Let's turn on the volume. We'll do a sound check here in a minute. Desktop audio's on. Mute my alerts. All right, we got that going. And then let's turn on the audio. Okay, you should be hearing audio. Can I get a sound check? It would be Division music. That's a cool animation, though. I could recreate that animation if I can find this source image. I'm trying to find that image. Anybody know where that image is? They say the 6:30 Twitch drops are at 6:30 tomorrow, Central Time. We'll find out more though, Nuke, on when they plan on launching, but I don't know what 6:30 Central Time translates to. And Matt, I wonder if you need the ninja bike. I mean, what would it be giving you? Because what we would need from the mementos, it's bonus armor, so that we can get out of cover. But If you had a really strong shield, that could help. Natalia Sokolova. That's a good name, isn't it? Natalia. Really, Outward? It's a mod on your watch? Oh, I'm so jealous of that Chinese game. Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna drop the trailer today. I hope they play the trailer during the live stream. We didn't even get a reveal last season. Was it last season we didn't get the reveal? Where they stuck us in the Ubisoft's event? I think so, right? And then that's also when they announced seasonal characters, and then we just got like a quick blip on the season. Ice. Yeah, that was disappointing. It's like we get just like 1 hour of the dev's time in 4 months. That's it. 1 hour in 4 months. This is the most we've seen from the devs in a long time, right? So we got 2 PTS streams from them and then a reveal. It's like, wow, maybe they are stepping it up. Exotics on my watch. I would love that. Demon, will Manny play along with us? No, I don't think he will. And I think that's what'll make the content more interesting, is that we got an ally that's working against us. It would go on theme with the shades of red. 50 Shades of Red. Is anybody else thinking that? Yeah, I don't know why we can't equip more than one exotic. You know, a lot of games do that. A lot of the games let you run an exotic weapon, multiple exotic weapons. They don't bleed into each other. A lot of our exotics, when you switch from it, it loses its buff. So there's not an advantage to switching. Yeah, but I would love to run my you know, Chameleon with the Sweet Dreams as a backup or something like that. Theo could be a really cool target, though. You know, if we get engaged with a lot of his tech. As the architect to a lot of the technological advantages that Keener's had, makes him an interesting foe, in my opinion. What up, Demon? What are we waiting for? We are waiting for the official reveal of Year 6 Season 2 Shades of Red. Perhaps a trailer and then final details on the new gear and the new Season's 2.0 structure, the modifiers. Will we see some actual gameplay? I don't know. But we got 42 seconds. I'll be taking notes in the background and chatting with you guys, but I won't talk over them very often, if at all. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. Here we go.
You think you know me? Theo, the hacker. Agent Parnell, the grieving son. The rogue. Before we meet, you need to know the real me. I want to trust you, but you've already killed me once.
Hello.
Hello.
So once again, we gotta introduce ourselves. I know it's awkward, and probably a lot of you already know who we are. But I'm Daria, the com dev on the Division 2, and today with me Yannick, as always.
Surprise!
My co-host, and yeah, I mean, now that we saw pretty much everything there is to see about the new season, I guess we can just.
I guess we're done.
Goodbye.
You can just like loop it for an hour and basically tells you everything you need to know.
But that was an amazing trailer, like really, really impressive one. And yeah, Theo is back, which is also very exciting. Not only us are back in this room that we tried to be in, because it's so. We actually really loved the green screen room that we streamed from during the PTS.
Yes.
But this is a different occasion.
Back to official business now.
Back to official business.
Yes.
Yeah, no joking around, no fooling around, and
We're being watched.
today the entire stream is mostly about Year 6 Season 2, Shades of Red, but also some other stuff that we'll talk about later. No, I can actually give you guys a hint, since it's Halloween season, and as you can see, I dressed in this not really a costume, but it's like a spooky cat. And Yannick unfortunately did not prepare a costume, so he's
That's not true. I
He's
dressed in orange. That's
he's
a Halloween color.
dressed as the Division 2 dev.
That's my costume. Yeah, to pretend that I know how to develop this game.
Was a bad joke. But so there are also going to be a few surprises, spooky themed surprises that we're going to reveal later today. Some concerning Twitch drops, and another thing, I mean, if you guys are scared of clowns, that's probably your warning, the only warning that you're going to get. But yeah, clowns might appear throughout the stream, so be careful.
Not in the stream, not in this room. That I know of.
One bad joke after another. Oh my god!
We're
and
off
we
to a
just
great start.
started. It hasn't been 10 minutes.
We're off to a great start.
I actually love clowns. I don't know.
You do you.
Where is my beep beep? But jokes aside, we're back to official business. We even have the cards. I even managed to glue them in the right order, which is a nice surprise. But yeah, talking about the new season, talking about new Manhunt. Please stop counting the cards.
Yeah.
Theo, we saw the trailer now. And yeah, very exciting that we are continuing with the rogue theme.
Yeah. I mean, it's we've known from the end of year 5 that not only did Keener survive, but Theo did as well. So with season 1, we went after Keener. Sorry, spoilers. I hope you're up to date with story. Otherwise, my bad.
Too little, too late.
Keener is alive. Theo is alive. We got Keener at the end of season 1. He is currently in custody in the White House, and now there is talk of potentially bargaining, if not an alliance, at least an alignment. But first we need to get Theo. We need to go get Theo because Keener wants him. But Theo, of course, being Theo, might have gotten himself in trouble. So now it's going to be about locating him and bringing him back. Also with the happy group.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting trials await us this season, so don't miss it out. And now that we have started talking about this season, I mean, obviously it's probably should be no surprise to anyone watching, but just in case you're new, the new season is going to be released tomorrow. Big reveal!
Wow.
Yes, now we're done for real. Goodbye.
That was the one news.
There is new continuation of the story, and new Manhunt, of course, is not the only thing that is new to the season and something that we will be introduced. It's also the big part of Shades of Red is Seasons 2.0 features that some of you maybe had a chance to test during the PTS phases that we had recently. And thank you so much once again if you participated, if you delivered your feedback, if you joined our PTS streams, which we were very excited about because we love the green screen room. And let's before we go into all the details about all of the, I mean, we already had an opportunity to talk about all those new features to show you guys how they're gonna look in the game, how they're gonna play, but just Seasons 2.0, what's the big idea behind it?
This is a bit of a recap, again, apologies for those of you that have been following our communication and the streams, you know all of that, but in case you haven't, I mean, the idea with Seasons 2.0 was really to take the time to rethink a bit our seasonal model and to create a new foundation that we are going to be able to build upon moving forward. Because the way we've been doing seasons until now, that model exists since the days of Warlords of New York. That's when it came out, and we never really had the time and took the time to upgrade or to change that model. So, we've been able to be creative with it, work within this frame of trying to push boundaries left and right to try to do things a bit different. But ultimately, we were limited by what this model allowed us to do. And so this with Seasons 2.0, beyond the details of this feature, that feature, and what is exciting and whatever, I think what's ultimately what really makes me excited is just the potential that we're going to unlock to grow moving forward once this is out, because of all the changes, and every single one of those changes is something that can scale as we gain more experience to work with this model and to try things out, the modifiers, the journey, the priority objectives, all of those things. As these gain, a bit more, as we keep building upon them, I think we're going to be able to make the seasons even more exciting after that. So this is basically a way for us to, future-proof the game and future-proof the seasons by starting with a fresh new foundation.
And what you're saying is that like this first season of the Seasons 2.0 it's just the beginning, and it can change, it can evolve through time with your feedback, of course. There might be other elements that we'll introduce going forward, and honestly I don't know anything about it. It's just
but and I think that's the important thing, it's like it's I mean, I'm excited for this season, I want to play it, but it's like it can be even more than that, and I think that's what's cool. There's already more things that will come to seasons as we move forward in the future. But that's what's cool. It's ultimately season is the main thing that as a player you interact with, at least at the beginning when a new season starts. You interact with those systems. This is what kind of defines the way to play the game and the day-to-day, and how do you prioritize activities, and being able to rethink that and try to come with something that's a bit fresher. It's a great opportunity, and I think that's again a testament of we're in year 6 and we are redoing our seasons, and we are planning ahead with a long future ahead of us. So I think that's a commitment again to the long term of this game.
But yeah, this is very exciting because this is something that we wanted to do for a long time, and I know that also players were asking for a refresher and a new experience, an updated experience for how the seasons are played. So yeah, this is very exciting, but there are a lot more to all the features that will make the entire Seasons 2.0 experience. And at least in this season, we talked during our PTS stream and show you the seasonal journey and how this is a different picture, but we'll talk about modifiers later. Sorry. So with the seasonal journey, for example, like this new progression that would consist of 7 big journey missions, each also consisting of 8 smaller objectives that you can tackle. And what is interesting about the seasonal journey is that it's available from level 1. So pretty much everyone, even if you're a new player, you can jump straight on it, and it will help define the way you interact with different activities that are available in the game. And also a very good opportunity, since we kind of had a sneak peek at the modifiers, for you to get those modifiers because they're available through seasonal journey as well.
And I think at the core of when we started talking about changing seasons, I think what was very important for us was like we wanted to bring gameplay at the center of the seasons, because until now, when you play the season, tonight, the last day of the old model, so you still have one night back with the old model, but it's the season was a lot the manhunt, so the story element, and then some of the objectives we give you with the manhunt. And then, the season pass progression that you gain passively by just playing the game. And that's, in a simplified way, that's pretty much what the season had to offer. And now with this, what we wanted to bring gameplay to rebalance the offering between not just story, but also gameplay, and make sure that every season is a fresh offering to kind of re-experience the game in a different way. And as you said, also like being able to play it from level 1 was a very important part for us. We want to make sure that every player, everything we do when we are maintaining this game today, it's pretty much about seasons and it's about adding new things to the game. But like everything we do is very much about making the end game, the level 40 experience, bigger and bigger. And these seasons, especially because that's our communication, that's the pulse points that happen on a regular basis in the year. We don't want new players or non-level 40 players to feel excluded from that. We want them to, see a season trailer and be as excited about it as anybody else. And now with this model, we can do that because now you can join the season from level 1 if you want to. You don't have to. Again, you can play with your character. But if you're a new player from level 1, you can play season from level 1. So, being able to do that and also, again, putting gameplay at the center with the modifiers and with changing the progression to make it a bit more to make it a bit more active, where you actually need to target season progression and make decision on what activities and how do you want to progress. That was a way for us to make you more engaged with seasonality itself and really more aware of what you're doing and therefore give you a bit more purpose.
And talking about modifiers as well, there is going to be distinctive modifiers for each specific season. The first modifier that we're introducing is point blank, because the main idea, the main theme is range, and you saw it in the trailer. This is how it's going to work. I would not try to recite all the percentages, but basically the main indicator is the distance that you have from the enemy. But talking about other season modifiers, I don't know if we really want to go into all the details about reciting different
Let me tell you about the next seasons. No, no, but it's. I think what's important is again to really be clear that those modifiers, this set of modifiers, will change with every season. And for this season, we on purpose went with something, even though it's not necessarily always easy to explain. We actually on purpose went with something that's maybe a bit more simplistic because we want to, try the system and with a proposition that is fairly easy to wrap your head around. The further I am from an enemy, the more damage I do. That's the simple fantasy here. And then we give you control and agency by giving you sets of modifiers that you can come to take and slot on top of that to the global modifier. But this the premise, the promise of it, we wanted to have something that was pretty straightforward. As we move forward from season to season, we're going to experiment with very different things, and we already have, a list of ideas on what kind of modifiers we want to do for future seasons. And we have some ideas that are also a bit, simplistic but exciting, and then we have some ideas that are maybe a bit more out there and a bit more crazy. So we're going to be trying with different formulas from one season to the next, and we'll find our voice eventually. We'll find what is it that resonates with the most people.
And do you think that there would be a way for us to maybe bring some modifiers back in the future if some specific ones most favorable?
Maybe. I don't think that we would want to actually take, to repeat a season modifier because once it's been used, I don't think it would be fun for someone to have to replay it for an entire season for people that are playing every season. But bringing back those modifiers as mini events for a limited time, that's something that could be cool.
Like a throwback thing, in a way.
Yep.
I'm asking questions already, even though it's not a Q&A section, but it's something that I was interested in.
She's going off script already.
Yes. But talking about script, I don't think we need to recite everything that we talked about during the PTS streams, but about the modifiers, some of the modifiers, as I just mentioned, are going to be a theme of the season, so something that is available for everyone from the get-go. Other modifiers can be earned and actually chosen and assigned. Other modifiers will also be not only for the player specifically, but hostile modifiers. So you will encounter some enemies in the open world that already have modifiers, and you will see it through UI. But talking about modifiers and ways and possibilities to earn them through the game, there are actually a few options here. Aside from the seasonal modifier, the main theme of the season, you can earn them through scouts. You can earn them through
Not scouts, no.
Priority objectives.
like,
Sorry,
should I say no?
priority objectives, and also the
season journey. Yeah.
itself. Yes.
Yeah, so you will get the one we call the global modifier, which is the main one, the one that we've said, the further you are, the more damage you do. That one you get. You don't have to do anything. From level 30, you will be able to get it when you play the season. You can activate it or deactivate it. So if you really don't like it, you don't have to. Or if you're struggling with it in a piece of content or in any activity in the game, you can always deactivate it temporarily if you want to. There is no consequence to deactivating it. So it's really up to you if you want to have it or not. You can progress your season without the modifier if you don't want to. This is really an option we give you to kind of change the way you play. So that's the global modifier. Then we have the active modifiers, which are the ones that you can trigger on a cooldown, and those change the way the global modifier behaves. Those will be unlocked as part of the season journey. And then we have the passive modifiers, and those you equip on your modifier interface on the shoulder unit, and those influence what happens with the global modifier. It's not a trigger, they are always active. And those you will unlock by doing priority objectives. And then, yes, as you said, you have the hostile modifiers, and those unlock as you progress through the season. And that's the way for the world to kind of react and become tougher also as you progress with your modifier.
And from what I remember, there are also going to be a few different types of hostile modifiers as well, and they may appear at random.
Yeah, we have 4 of them, and then there's random chances, and depending on which archetype, and there's there's all of that in there. And we've seen feedback already. We've made some changes based on PTS feedback on them to try to make them challenging, but also not too frustrating in the same time. It's always a hard balance to find. And once again, this is our first take. So if there is any feedback, just do let us know, and we'll see for next season where we want to bring it.
But also coming back to scouts and priority objectives, to other elements of the Seasons 2.0 that we haven't talked about it yet.
There's a lot of new words, by the way. That's a whole new dictionary you're going to need. And even for us, we might actually mess it up because the words we use now are not necessarily the words we've been using for the past months when working on those features.
It's just Yannick trying to save me from being so miserably confused about 4 new features. But yeah, talking about scouts, like as you may have noticed, we do not really have a seasonal calendar anymore because we do not have leagues.
Yeah.
Like leagues are not a part of the manhunt, and the scouts are going to be the way for us to basically progress throughout the entire season. And each scout unlocks on a weekly basis and consists of 3 missions that you're going to get some hints about, but not necessarily a clear objective or clear path as to where to find this, a way to take on the mission.
Yeah.
So this is another new element that hopefully will kind of bring more excitement and more interest to the entire progression. And also the scouts is a way for you to unlock a new difficulty.
Or to unlock the climax anyway.
Yes. I mean, of course, climax comes first, but then comes another difficulty, and we can actually talk about it a bit later, because there is another surprise that is coming with it that was not on the PTS. It's not something that we were shown or talked about, or you guys had a chance to test.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll save it for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, the entire season will consist of those scouts. I don't remember the exact number of how many we're gonna have. But the good thing about this entire new system is it offers a much cleaner and faster progression, like through the story, because now you do not really need to wait for entire months, since it's on a weekly basis.
Yeah, exactly. It's like every week there's a new scout. If you miss the scout of the week, it's fine. You can always do it the week later, but you need to do them in the right order. The scout is a few objectives that you need to decipher and understand and then be able to beat. And that, once again, by the way, is in the context of this season, because this is Theo that is kind of giving you hints to make you see what he wants you to see. So think of it that way. We'll see if we want to keep the cipher riddle part of it moving forward. But in this case, this is what it is. You're going to have to do 3 objectives to get the scout, and once you get the scout, you get the collectible of the week and some rewards, of course, and then you unlock the next scouts. But there's also a timer every week, of course, and you will need to have done all the scouts to unlock the climax. So it is in a way similar to the way seasons were. But now, the seasons were on the monthly. You had a monthly target. And then this month you had to do all the activities that were a part of it, and then you unlocked the target and you did the target and you got more collectibles when the target unlocked, but then nothing for a month. Now you're going to get the same amount but every week. And we don't have targets anymore. You just have the main target and the climax mission. But once again, this system is something that gives us a lot more flexibility moving forward in the way we want to do it. So I know I've seen discussions on people saying, "Oh, does that mean that the story is going to be a bit more streamlined and there's going to be less character development or whatever?" I don't think so, because it actually gives us a lot more possibilities moving forward. So we will experiment with it. We will learn on how much doors it actually opens for us. But I'm actually pretty excited about it, because I think it's going to actually be more agile for us to create new exciting stories.
Certainly.
You agree?
I mean, you're the boss. I just work here.
You're allowed to disagree with me, Gaia,
No, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty excited about the weekly system, and especially the ciphers. I mean, the main part of the excitement comes from the fact that I managed to ask Lauren Stone, our narrative director, for all the clues. So now I don't necessarily need to spend the time cracking those codes. I already know what to do. Yeah, not yet. It doesn't count if it's a test version, right? But yeah. I mean, if anyone has troubles understanding the riddles, just let me know. We can talk about the price. But yeah, talking about other things, gear, because seasons also come with new gear, and maybe this system is not different from how it was before. But new gear is new gear, and there are a few things that we want to mention. We also won't really go into all the details. But Strega. Let's start with Strega.
Yep.
It's the new exotic AR.
Yep.
And there were some, I wouldn't say really interesting feedback. Like, there were a lot of heated discussion regarding this.
You said there was no interesting feedback.
Because there was a lot of heated discussions about it, and how it's this live stream sees so many bad jokes. Like, what's going on? This is the room. Like, we cannot function in this room.
Completely off tone here.
Yeah, we'll just. I was like,
well, look at this beautiful piece of art. I point here because the screen is here for us. For you who are watching us, it's here.
Trying
here,
to do
the art is here.
The popular YouTuber influencer stuff. Like, please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the discussions were about the mark application of the Strega, and the good news is that 20 meters mark is back.
Yes. Yeah, so we started with PTS1, and the way Strega works is that you apply a mark when you kill a target. You apply a mark to all the targets in 20 meters range, and then those marks stack. And on PTS1, everybody was very excited. Turned out that on PTS1, it was actually broken. So there was no limit to the stacks, and even the range was actually off. So we fixed that for PTS2, but in the process we also decided to lower the range to 10 meters because we felt like maybe 20 was a bit too much, and we didn't want to lower the damage. So we thought, let's lower the range. We got some feedback on that, and we decided, you know what? Yeah, 20 meters is fine. So 20 meters is back. It's basically back the way it was on PTS 1, minus the bugs.
Good catch. Can we see other assets? Oh, this is one of them, the exotic holster. The only thing that I'm gonna mention is that it has different values for PvP and PvE. And all the details, because like I would probably look really stupid trying to understand what's written here, even though I myself made those cards. But all the values will be available in our patch notes, and from what I remember, everything will be posted right after the live stream. So make sure to check Trello, our official website, all the balancing changes that we also had on PTS with some changes applied based on your feedback, also going to be available there. Aside from that, we're also going to have a gear set and a brand set. So yeah, this is the one. Actually, on this asset, you can also see the outfit of the season. So this is the gear set and the outfit combined in one picture, and the outfit itself is going to be available through the season pass. Bell will get there later. And no, actually, we can get there right now because apparently that's the next topic of discussion. No, not really. I lied.
Ooh, the surprise.
The surprise. Yes, the surprise. So should have arranged the assets differently, but whatever. So a new exotic chest provocator, and what's peculiar about the specific piece of gear is that that's going to be a reward for Master Climax difficulty, which is a new difficulty that also comes with this season.
Yeah, it's a Climax exclusive, so you will have to wait all the way to the end of the season to actually unlock that piece. And as it goes with difficulty, you will have higher chances to get it on Master. But yeah, it's a pretty cool piece, and I don't know, do we talk about what it does or do we not?
I don't think I have the notes for it. Yeah, because it's coming later in the season.
Okay.
So we decided to.
Okay, I'll keep it to myself.
It's just a sneak peek. It's a big reveal.
It looks cool, is what it does.
Yeah, and plus it's like the third exotic of the season.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to talk about the master difficulty separately. Like where do we put it on a scale of?
Yeah, we can talk. Do you want to talk about it now?
No, I mean if you want to. Yes.
Do you want to? Okay, so master difficulty. Yes, again we've talked about that again in the past, but for those who don't know, this is a new difficulty setting that we're going to apply only to the climax mission of that season. So when the season comes to an end and you've done all the scouts, and then we unlock the climax mission, which is the conclusion of that season. We are also going to unlock the master difficulty of it. So the climax will be available in all the usual difficulties: normal, hard, challenging, heroic. But then on top of that, there will be a master difficulty, and this one is actually handcrafted in a way. So the NPCs will be tougher, but also the challenges, the encounters, the mechanics will be handcrafted to be made harder. So, it's hard to rank it. I don't really want to create the false expectation here, but we want something that is tough. So just to be clear, if you're not an advanced player with optimized build, it's going to be a very hard challenge. We are looking at, I would say it, but legendary level of difficulty, potentially even incursion level of difficulty. In my dream, this is where we will see. But it is meant to be harder, for sure, harder than heroic. And this is going to be, the toughest challenge at the end of the season to see have you actually mastered everything that this season has to offer.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to play throughout the entire list of scouts that are going to be available, because otherwise there is no way to unlock it.
Yeah, you need to play the scouts to unlock it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is very exciting since it also comes with the new piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And now to Season Pass, because Season Pass also underwent a few changes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are visual changes. It's something you maybe already saw in the PTS live stream or in the seasonal trailer. But
Oh, we didn't show the season pass in the live stream.
I don't. Is it an interrogation?
How dare you?
I mean, we don't have a visuals right now, but it was.
There's one in the trailer at least.
Yeah, they were in the trailer, so you can see there. Like, but the good thing about it, it's like first and foremost, there are no two different tracks. You can only have one track now.
Yeah.
And another thing.
Previews?
That you can finally see all the items, the dyes, the weapon skins, the outfits on your character right away.
Yeah, it is. The big changes with the season pass is that, I mean, so first philosophically, yes, there is no two tracks anymore where there was a free track and a paid track. Now everything is combined together. Some items, some rewards will be free. On that track, and then the other ones you need to on the season pass to unlock them. Once again, and I said that in the BTS stream, I know some people will be comparing like, oh, but that's less reward because there's less free rewards on the season track compared to what we had before. But it's true. But again, think of the fact that with the new season systems, a lot of those rewards are actually dispatched on other features as you play the season mechanics. So you get much more rewards from actually engaging with the season, and then on the season pass track you have some free rewards, and then a majority of them being behind the season pass. There was one quick image here, but the cool thing with it is, yes, it's mostly a rethinking of the experience to make it just a bit more exciting, a bit more fresh, bringing preview. So yes, you can. Here you go. You have this. I will call that a mock-up, but that's kind of what it will look like in a way in the game. But it's we have previews, so that means that when you look at a reward on the season pass, you will actually see it on your character. We have a detailed panel, so for items we will be able to show you some stats and descriptions. It's going to just feel better, look better, be a bit clearer on what reward is what. You will need to claim your rewards now. It's not going to be automatically granted, so also hopefully preventing some of the issues we've had of like people getting rewards when they're in gameplay and then missing them or whatever. And just when you actually get a season pass level, you want to go there and actually celebrate that reward being unlocked. So it's a lot of small changes here in terms of trying to make it feel a bit better, but also especially do a much better job at giving you the information you need, especially prior to making your decision on do I want to buy the pass or not. Now you will be able to really preview everything first before you decide if you want to buy or not.
And also what is peculiar about this new updated season pass is that this time around you can get some of your investments back because there are going to be credits available through the
it's going to be premium credits,
yes. I think this is for the first time ever that they're available through this season pass.
So as you said, you buy the season pass and you get some of your money back by progressing by unlocking premium credits as well.
Yeah, but that's not all, because free players will also receive cosmetics in the season pass. That's something that we never had before, which includes one outfit and one skin.
Yeah, there's a free outfit now. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of interesting things. And now we're moving to our Halloween portion of the live stream, the first part of it at least, Twitch drops. And some of you already know about it. If you're a content creator affiliated with Division or Ubisoft, you may have already seen or heard something about it. You may have already accepted the terms of this campaign. But for everyone else...
Why do you say it like that? You have accepted the terms. We
it's,
got
it's
you.
the Halloween live stream. See, I do not have horns, but I have ears. Maybe there are horns hidden behind them. Dory.
You've been censored.
So Twitch drops. Reveal the drops. See how beautiful. There are so many new things. So how this entire campaign is gonna work? First of all, it's gonna be it starts tomorrow. Not necessarily right after the maintenance. There's like I can see that 6 p.m. So a little bit later. It will give you some time to play a little bit and get familiar with the new features. And up until November 12th, you can actually watch your favorite creators if they are affiliated with the Division or Ubisoft Content Creator Program. And this is how you can earn this new amazing patch or a backpack trophy or this this cat skin is so nice. It really speaks to me like a goblin mask.
I mean, obviously.
So you don't necessarily need to watch one specific creator. You can watch different people. The rewards are gonna be the watch time is gonna be accumulated on your account. If you're not like you can actually connect your Twitch account to your Ubisoft Connect account. If you didn't do that, it's time for you to do that now. Log into your Twitch account, and there's going to be an option for you to do that. So yeah, the big prize in the very end for watching for 3 hours and 30 minutes is the new Rosa mask. I think it's what is this Mexican holidays called? Forgot.
I'm going to butcher it.
Yes. So, but you get the gist. I'm really sorry for not being able to pronounce it properly. But yeah, overall there are a lot of nice, spooky new things that you can earn through the Twitch drops. And don't forget, up until November 12th.
I like Spider Pumpkin Universal Weapon skin. Feels like Spider Pumpkin is a new superhero.
Spider Pumpkin. That's whatever.
I'm Spider Pumpkin. Oh no, Spider Pumpkin is here.
But I really love the cats. They're so cute. I was not the one who oversaw what sort of rewards we're gonna get on the in this campaign. I swear.
Sure.
If it were to me, like
you
all
sound
the
very
rewards are gonna
satisfied
be
with them.
Cats themed. Moving on. Another thing that got an update recently. Friend referral program. If you're a follower on our social media or I don't know, saw updates on our website, the previous friend referral program ceased to exist on 18th of October, and now we are bringing it back, a much better updated version. It starts on October 31st.
I understood that reference.
Yes, this is a very nice user with meme. And it will be available worldwide for all the platforms and cross-platforms as well. So if you're a PC player but you want to invite your friend from PlayStation or Xbox, you can absolutely do that. Since the last program was reset completely, it is now possible for existing players to be invited again and get the NVT rewards. And this is maybe something that some of you already have, because the difference in the reward system is that you can see our old friend. It's the Stinger Hunter outfit. This outfit, together with the weapon and the backpack trophy, is now going to be available for NVTs, for new players, for recruits. And for veteran players, for those of you who would be inviting people to the game, there is a completely new uniform that's called Insurgent uniform, and also an Insurgent backpack. So those are two new rewards available for veteran players.
Yeah, we wanted more, kind of just something that's a bit more dynamic with the friend referral, because the problem we had with the old system was just, there was some complexity to it anyway. But ultimately, it was, as Daria said, like once you've done it once, you're done with it. And we wanted something that's a bit more, a bit more live than that, where just on a regular basis, you can invite players. You can also actually, yes, invite people who have played the game but have stopped playing. So if you're inviting your friends that have stopped playing for some time, if you invite them to come back and they come back, you will be rewarded for that as well. So it's not just really about new players, it's about bringing people back to the game, regardless if they've played already or not in the past.
Yeah, and apparently I have this note here that you can still be invited if your last play session dated June 2024. So quite recently too.
Yeah.
Yep. Invite more people, guys. There is a nice new uniform.
And this will be true moving forward from season to season. So you will be able to invite people that have just not played recently.
And maybe we'll even look at the ways of updating for a program as well.
Yep.
And now, a thing that I realized and I completely forgot to tease, but apparently we're having even more surprises than I myself originally anticipated, and I'm the person who set this entire order of show up. Another exciting thing that we wanted to talk about this time, and even though it's strictly monetization thing and not necessarily something that we would, just use the opportunity to connect with community with, but this is a very special occasion. And today we want to show you a sneak peek at the upcoming Apparel collection. Not an Apparel event, Apparel collection, since it's going to be available in store. Designed in collaboration with our friends from GSC Game World. And after months in the making, finally, the big reveal is here.
Yes.
I mean, we are very excited about it. It's very dear to us because it's literally been months in the making.
It's been long conversations, yes, and we've been looking for a new partner to partner with, to bring some of their identity and their brand and their legacy to the division, and being able to work with GSC Game World and see the passion and the dedication that they have making their game through the terrible hardship that they have to go through. It's been such an inspiration that I'm just really excited that we get to support or be part of it in some very small way. So this is just it's more precious than just new items on the store for us. It means a lot.
Yeah, and there are going to be 4 uniforms available in this collaboration. I would not reveal the date yet. It's going to happen later in the season, but as some of you may know, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl is going to be released in November, 20th of November to be precise. So that might give you an idea of when exactly this collaboration is dropping. And today, we also prepared a small sneak peek at the upcoming trailer and how all the 4 outfits gonna look.
This was a really sneak peek of the trailer.
It's too early to show the whole
1
thing.
second.
I mean, you can see all the
You
4
see the
uniforms
outfits.
here, but
Yeah.
I really loved how cozy they are at the fire chilling in Chernobyl. The regular Eastern European things. I may know a few things about that.
what you do on a casual day.
Yep.
But again, no, it's really exciting to be able to bring that and again help our friends at GSC Game World. So
Yeah, I think
Cool stuff.
it's really amazing for this iconic brand to have collaboration with Division. 2 iconic brands having a collaboration.
it's two together.
Exactly. I just noticed that. Oh, nice. When they say when the clock strikes with the same numbers, like is it 11:11? You need to make a wish. That's the similar case here.
Okay.
All wishes are going to be granted. Promise, trust.
You went on record with that.
Now, talking about clowns, I know that's a bit of a sudden change.
Nobody said anything about clowns, but sure.
I mentioned it a few times in the very beginning.
At the beginning, yeah.
Please pay attention. I cannot do it like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a change in aesthetic. But one thing that I wanted to mention for you guys to pay attention to our social media in the coming days, because there are gonna be giveaways of a certain bundle that is called Laughing Gas. Here it is. It may remind you of something or someone. But yeah, we'll be giving it away on official Division 2 channels. You may also pay attention to some of the creators that you like. Maybe they will also be participating in the giveaway. And this is our way to celebrate Halloween with all of you.
A way to look spooky in the dark zone.
However,
Oh, I
it
didn't
really
know.
looks very cheerful. Like, look at how colorful it is. Look at how happy he is.
You look at that and you think cheerful. That's the word that comes to your mind. We need to talk, Diane. We need to talk.
See, this is what working on this brand does to a person. Anyway, this is pretty much it that we wanted to cover. Of course, this is not everything that's going to happen throughout the entire season. There are a lot more other things going to happen a little bit later in the year. We're looking at having a winter event, for example, something similar to what we had this summer, or Mooncake.
Or more X5, XP events.
Yes, and by the way, this is official information at this point because we already announced it at BTS livestream. So yeah, we're gonna have more of the XP boosts. Yannick made sure because he himself loved X5 events so much, so he was like, we
What's
need
not to
more."
love? You do a bounty and you get 10 levels. I mean, it's
So yeah, please look forward to all that happening. We will either cover it in our upcoming live streams or just announce it through social media. And now it's time for your favorite part, and our favorite part, which is Q&A. And I need to boot my laptop.
bring up the questions.
Yeah, by the way, this time around, we're also going to have a chat on the screen, but since it goes too fast for us to catch up with everything.
I saw someone, I'm going to take a question directly. I saw someone
Yes,
asking, Yannick, what shade level are you in game? Well, I'm shamefully still just like 500 something, which is hilarious in a way that I have probably like, I don't know, 300-400 hours into the game. And, you know, in relationship to everyone, I'm considered a noob, which is like 300 or 400 hours, probably one of the most I've invested into a game, but that's nothing compared to a lot of other people. That being said, that does not include all the time I spend playing work in progress builds.
Yes.
If you would add that, there will be a lot more hours.
Test builds count. Absolutely. There are also a few questions that community managers collected for us here in a separate doc. Can we turn global modifiers off?
Yes. Yeah, you can turn it off. So once again, there is no payoff or no punishment in a way for turning it off, or no incentive to turn it on. It's really up to you. Overall, the global modifier is a buff. Of course, having the global modifier on also means that you will have hostile modifiers against you. So you can always turn it off whenever you want. If it's not working for you, you can do that. One thing that is important to know is that when a global event is running, you will have to turn off your global modifier, because global event and global modifier cannot coexist. So you will have to choose when a global event is running. Do I want the global modifier or do I want the global event for the duration of that event?
When patch notes going out, right after the live stream. Trust. Is there going to be an Apparel event?
Is there going to be an Apparel event? At the moment, we are not planning an Apparel event for this season.
But we will have the other events like winter events. That is like
yeah,
also
there's going to be other events.
opportunities.
There's if you want free stuff, there will be free stuff. No worries. But we don't plan an Apparel event for this season.
What happens if one player has completed scouts and the rest of group hasn't? So the thing was, you can still play scouts together. You just need to be sure that everyone in the group completes the same objective, and in that way you will be given all the rewards, the entire group. If it's only the leader of the group or anyone else in the group who completes the specific objectives that belongs to the scout, it won't be distributed for everyone. So just make sure that you toggle the same objective at the same time.
Yeah, I think the question maybe was that if only the leader has the climax unlocked, can the other players join the climax mission if they haven't done the scouts? And the truth is that I actually don't know. There are people on this team that will know the answer to this question, but I actually don't know. Normally the leader decides because it's their world. But I don't know if the access to Climax will be unlocked for everyone or not. So
I would speculate.
We'll have to get back to you on this one. I think.
Yeah, I would not try to speculate then. Do modifiers work in raids?
Do modifiers work in raids? I was convinced they did, but I think I've seen feedback on the PTS that they did not. So I'm less sure about it now.
Maybe it was just different on PTS. We can. So yeah, need to mark these questions for us to get this information added to the patch notes. So there is a question if people, do we need
They do not work in raid, sorry, says DJ Tickle, so yeah.
You can trust DJ Tickle.
He knows better than
Approved.
I do. Yeah.
Do we need to create a new character and start from level 1 for Seasons 2.0? So it's no longer a thing.
No.
You can be a completely new player, new to the game, and still be able to jump on the new season and be able to play and actually interact with all the seasonal activities, but you're not required to create a new character.
Yeah.
Where can players get Yannick's hoodie? Dev team.
It's easy. You have to work on the division. Simple as that. I've seen a question. The chat goes a bit too fast, so I didn't read the full question. But I think the question was about legendary missions, if we're going to be adding new ones in the future. And the truth is that at the moment, no, we are not planning to add new ones. Our goal was to have legendary difficulty to be for strongholds only. But that being said, that could change. So it's not necessarily on the table at the moment, but it's not a hard no either.
Are we getting an extra character slot?
No. As we've said, I think we've discussed during the PTS stream. We were prepared to add a new character slot when we were talking about doing seasonal characters. Now that we've removed seasonal characters, we don't need that extra slot. But we had started some investigations in terms of what that means in terms of save size and extra storage for the account and all of that. So that means it potentially opens doors. No promise here, but it opens doors for potential stash extensions in the future. But that's investigations that are ongoing right now.
Stash space?
Well,
question mark.
I feel like I just answered that.
Yeah. I think I saw a few questions about the DLC and when are we planning to reveal more information about it. This is not something that we can share right now.
When it will be ready. We're still working on it.
Yeah, but everything's on track. So once the time comes, you will be the first one to know, for sure. PvP news. 3 question marks.
Not for this update. It hasn't been a priority. Now, bear in mind, with this update, we haven't talked much about it in this stream, but there's still also the whole general balancing pass that we tested on the PTS. So that will have an impact on PvP, obviously, the balance in general of items. But otherwise, PvP hasn't been our priority with this update. So we don't have any major changes here.
Also, a few questions about new raids or new incursions.
Still not the plan. I know people are asking, like, is the incursion happening because they've seen some screenshots from the PTS. We've said it once, I'll say it every time. Take everything you see on the PTS or through any kind of data mining. Take everything you see with big grains of salt, because just because something is in the build doesn't mean it's actually ever going to happen. Permaban for cheaters. We do ban cheaters. I know maybe we haven't banned the one you've met, and I know it's there's always experiences or cases where some people manage to keep cheating, but overall we have regular waves and we're banning cheaters when we catch them.
Yeah, I know that people will call me out on repeating this thing again and again, but basically that's the only thing that can help here is to keep reporting those people, especially if you can make a video or grab a screenshot so their username is visible and the offense is visible. Just keep reporting them to support, and support has a specifically designed sanctioning matrix that they apply to those cheaters, and the more you report them, the more there is a chance for them to get banned entirely.
Mm-hmm. New conflict maps? No, not on the plans right now. Would be cool though.
What about Sokolova? Any news?
Maybe. Definitely up to something. Possible to add snow to the game. That would be new. That would be cool too. I've seen I'm trying to what about Bard and Sheffer? Same, play the game, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about our characters, don't worry. I've seen someone just I guess was a sarcastic comment saying, since I said no new incursion or raid, saying, oh, there's no new content to the game. I mean, come on, we're bringing you a whole new overhaul of seasons. We said we have a DLC that's coming. We're working on new things. Might not be the one thing you want, but we're busy. And now there's just too much on chat. It's hard to catch something.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Will master difficulty work for all activities like heroic? I'm surprised I managed to catch that. No. As I've said, master difficulty will be for the climax mission only, and will remain like that. It's a new thing. We'll create it. We'll contain it to the climax. And then we'll see what the future tells us. But for the moment, it's going to be climax only.
I managed to saw a question about appearance of the exotic weapons, if that can be modified. It's probably a question to Pali.
Mm-hmm. No. That would be cool. That would be cool.
What's up about Kelso? Kelso is chilling.
Kelso is living the dream. Being rogue and all. Is there something? Is Phalar still alive? No. I know there are some theories and tinfoil hats going out there. No. She's dead.
So many questions about crossplay.
Mm-hmm. No, crossplay is not. It's not on the table at this point. Same would be cool. It's. I believe we've explained that at some point. It's a lot of work and a lot of work in a way that is not something we are equipped to tackle at this point. And believe me, we talk about it on a very regular basis.
It was a question if I have kitty ears on my hoodie. I actually do.
Yes.
It's very important. Can let them stay like that.
Please bring back global events in Division 1. We know. It's
Yeah, and it's been a long time, and I know that there are no updates that can satisfy everyone, but it's something that we're working on. It's just the current size of the team allows us to work on either Division 1 or Division 2, and the priority is obvious.
Mm. Yeah, and it's just also Division 1 it's very hard for us to, actually change anything with Division 1. So a lot has been lost. So it's very hard for us to actually bring back global events. I know it sounds simple, but it is not. And we have people that have been actively working on that for some time already.
What does New Exotic do? I mean, I can try and fetch it right now, but all the details are going to be revealed like in 30 minutes after the live stream.
Yannick, can you beat the Summit 100 Hunter? I actually have never reached Summit 100. I know, I'm going to be called out for that. It's mostly I play in short sessions, so when I play the game, I want to focus on something that's short term.
Are we going to get a fun kit for this season? Yes, I think so. I will just ask my CMs to help me with that.
Why not merge Division 1 with 2? Here's an idea. Let's just press the button, merge games. No, it's Division 1 and Division 2 are, I know they look the same, but they are two very different games. So, it would be the same as saying merging Division 2 and Rainbow Six. It's just, it's really not something that can be done. Do we get red skin on Shade Watch? No. Your watch is orange.
Expertise? Question marks?
Expertise. Shared progression, crossplay, I think we've talked about that already. Raid weapons on master difficulty, what are you suggesting that we bring in some of the raid exclusives on when you're playing master? That's not the plan at the moment. The raid exclusive remain exclusive to the raid.
Oh, that's actually an interesting suggestion. Can you make hunters spawn randomly and depend world like rogue agents? Add a bit of a challenge. But that would kind of take away the beauty of the hunter encounter.
We want the hunter spawns to feel special. Hunters are still a big boogeyman, but when you see one, you should have a oh shit moment. If they become random and spawn in weird locations and weird moments, then we kind of lose a bit of that. So we prefer to keep control. Can you hear what's needed for the modifier while it switch stuff? Yes, because the progress on the modifier is again connected to the season journey, which you can progress without having the modifier turned on, and the priority objectives, which you can also complete without having the modifier turned on. So you don't have to use the modifier to progress it.
Blueprints from old seasons. It also brings back the discussion about the throwback event where it was possible for you to get all the exotics from the previous seasons, and it's the question's been very popular about the blueprints.
We should, on principle, yes, we need to add them. We just need to find out the ones that are missing and then add them. But it's there's no direct intention for us to not make them available. What's the plan for Keener for Season 2? Well, again, you have to play. I see a lot of crossplay and blueprints, so I think we've covered that already.
Let me check.
I see some questions about Descent or some suggestions on Descent. We don't have plans to revisit Descent in the short future, but I think there's been already some there's been enough time since we've released it that we have some clear indications on what works and what doesn't. So I hope at some point we'll have a chance to revisit it and make improvements. But that's not in the short future. And I've seen a question how to get the old Descent cons. And as far as I know, they are not available. If you missed them at some point, then you can get the ones from the past months, I believe, but not the older ones. But that's something we should address. So it would be good to allow everyone to catch up. Equipping 2 exotic gear pieces at the same time. Well, the thing is, exotic pieces are balanced with the fact that you can only have one. If we one day change that and say you can have multiple exotics equipped, then we're going to have to nerf them. And as we know, nerfs are usually not popular. But that's what we would have to do if we allow you to have a second one. We would need to nerf it, because combining two exotics together would be a bit outside of our comfort zone when it comes to giving more power to the players. Any new Descent comms? There will be new comms with the new season as usual. One clue for the hunter mask hook. No, I think I've said that already in the PTS, but there is no secret hunter connected to that hook. Not yet, anyway.
Can you make it snow in Washington? I love that people are still not losing hope for it to happen.
Yeah. I want more loot.
Big horn in the loot pool. Keep dreaming. How to get Drag of Mask? I think that's the mask that was available as a part of the bundle.
Yeah, and I think there was an issue where not everybody got it, and I believe it should have been granted to everyone. So if I'm right and you still haven't gotten your mask, if you bought the bundle and didn't get the mask, you should contact support. What about hardcore? Yeah, it is true. We haven't talked about it, and there's not any major changes to hardcore. The new season model will work with hardcore as well. But yeah, we haven't planned any drastic changes to the mode. But it would be great to give it some love at some point.
New global events. They're modifiers now.
Yeah. No, we don't have new global events just yet, but that's something we could do. We've actually discussed it. We need zombies. I didn't see the rest. It's just so we need zombies. No, straight up no. There's enough zombie fantasies and zombie games out there. Yannick, thank you. You're welcome. I don't know what for, but
Keener duck clues, please. Just keep shooting the ducks. That's the only clue. That's the only way to get the Keener duck.
When is Year 6 Season 2?
I don't know. Let me check my notes. It's actually tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
We're gonna have the maintenance tomorrow, our usual time.
Can you buff the Ouroboros? Well, the thing is, with all the balancing changes that we've done that are going to be live tomorrow, there are some of them where I know that we've made changes, and then we got some feedback from people who were on the PTS asking us to either revert those changes or change them in a different way. In some cases, we agree. In some cases, we meet in the middle. In other cases, we don't agree. And when we don't agree, that doesn't necessarily mean that we just think we know better and that's it. It just means, okay, let's put it out there. Let's put all the other balancing changes out there, and then we can look again at some of those. So there will be extra changes afterwards. And I'm not saying we're going to change the Ouroboros. I just want to make it clear that even just because we didn't change something after PTS doesn't mean that we think balancing in general is solved. There are some things that we have decided to not change from PTS to live because we want to see how it's going to behave with all the other balancing changes around. Any plans to monetize seasons backpack or past seasons backpack trophies and it was scrolled. I didn't see the rest, but anyway, past seasons backpack trophies, dice, and arm patches. No, those are, we want those to be rewards for specific times when you actually were able to be here. So at the moment we are not planning on monetizing those.
There was a question. I also cannot really read it as it was written, but basically, is there a way to re-experience or learn about the story before? And there's actually an opportunity for you to replay the legacy Manhunt missions, which won't really give you access to the entirety of the previous seasons, but at least you can experience the story through the previous Manhunts.
Yeah, okay. I think we've had enough of these the Q&A. What do you guys think? I'm gonna switch this part of it off. And let's go into a summary of what we've learned. Give me a second. I'll go ahead and keep this running in the background, but we just get the same questions we've heard over and over and over again, right? And people ask the same questions because, yeah, they're curious. They're curious. I get it. But so I don't think a ton of new stuff here if you've been following along. So as far as the drops, that's a good question. Let's just start with that. So the Twitch drops will start tomorrow. And they're going to run for, I think, a couple of weeks. But I'll go ahead, when I put out this season, the recap of this reveal, which I'll do immediately after this stream, I'll go ahead and put in the details there on how to connect your Twitch account to your console system. So if you're on PlayStation or the Xbox, you'll need to do that. If you play on PC, you're probably already connected, or you could be easier. But if you're on console or you're on PlayStation, you don't typically go through the Ubisoft system to access the game, but that's what it's about. It's about going and creating your Ubisoft account and then connecting it to your Twitter account, which is pretty easy to do, but it's just knowing where to go and what to click. So there's that. So otherwise, I think we got a confirmation. We were all speculating that Theo was going to be the prime target, and he is for season 2. So yeah, Theo's alive. So is Keener. Keener's in custody. Then we got Seasons 2.0, which I believe is 7 main missions and I think 8 smaller objectives. So instead of the season centered on the manhunt, they are centering back on gameplay to rebalance the story versus the gameplay and kind of refresh the offering every season around that, which I like that concept. And everything they're doing right now, as stated by Yannick, is about the endgame experience being bigger and bigger. And the modifiers that they're having, just as we've heard before, will change per season. And this season's main is called Point Blank, and it's all about distance modifiers. So that's what we expected. That's what we've experienced. So overall, just to simplify it, the further you are away from the enemy, the greater the damage. That's the basic fantasy. Touching on the exotics, I'm just going over my notes. I just picked the highlights. But the Strega exotic distance is back to 20 meters, which was what we saw in PTS Phase 1. And then they decreased that in Phase 2, and then there was a damage glitch that made it look stronger than it was, and they fixed that. But they decided that the distance was a good thing, so they buffed it back to 20 meters, and I think that's a good idea. Yeah, 20 meters isn't as wide as it seems in this game, because in legendary content, they play really deep, and they play really wide, and they're always moving in and out of range. So the wider the better, I think, for that. And you can see that with like the Pestilence. Like Pestilence has 25 meters spread, and it doesn't hit the target sometimes because they're outside of that range. And so distance in this game can be a little deceiving. It's bigger than it seems, I think, is the way to say it. So there's a new outfit and a gear set, and it looks pretty sick, by the way. And the one they showed will be part of the premium season pass. There's a surprise new exotic chest called the Provocator, however you want to say it. And it's going to be a reward for the Master Climax difficulty mission. But what it does was not revealed. And it is the official 3rd exotic of the season. We were talking about that earlier. We were like, only 2 exotics this season? Shame. But there is a 3rd, and it's going to be a surprise. I bet you it's going to be something based on distance, but we'll see. The master difficulty is handcrafted. It is legendary, and incursion level of difficulty is where Yannick wants it to be, but we'll see. And it is meant to be harder than heroic difficulty. And you need to play all the scouts to unlock it. The scouts are like bounty manhunts. The season pass went through changes. Sorry if the music was too loud. So there's no more, the 2-track system is not there anymore, so it'll be a single track. That's typical. We see that in other games too. So the free stuff and the premium stuff are all on the same line now. But some will be free and some will still require you to own the pass. They didn't say anything about the price of the pass. I'm assuming it's going to be the same, which was about $10. Many of the rewards we used to get for free will not be in the new pass system. They're spread out to the missions. So the missions are going to be given rewards now. Those journeys, part of the journey system. So it might look, as he explained it, it might look like we're going to get less rewards, but they're just broken out of the pass now. So the same amount of rewards, but they're just going to be in that journey experience, the free stuff, some of the caches. But for the first time ever, we get premium credits you can unlock. So if you buy the season pass, you're getting some of that money back, or you can look at it as credits that will go towards your future pass. And there are going to be cosmetics for free. So for the first time, free players can get cosmetics for free as well. Bundles, there was an exciting collaboration of an upcoming apparel collection that will probably hit sometime in November. And this is with GSC Game World Stalker 2.0. The Heart of Chernobyl. And 4 uniforms will come with that. And they look pretty cool, I gotta say. And then I think somebody was asking, Witty was asking, about the Scary Clown outfit, which they're calling the Laughing Gas Bundle. Now, I don't know if you can purchase this out directly. They weren't clear about that. But they said it's going to be a giveaway. And they did mention that creators will be able to give it away. Now, I'm a Ubisoft partner creator, so I think I would have the ability to give that away. I don't know when we're going to have the ability to give this away. I mean, we are in the month of Halloween, so hopefully now. But it hasn't been mentioned in my creators webpage program that they give to us. So all I have in there right now is the Twitch drops. I will be hosting the Twitch drops and streaming as much as possible to give you guys the opportunity to earn those. And I'm going to be rocking that new mask. So please join me on Twitter. And make sure you follow me on YouTube as well. I will be putting instructions on how to connect your account to Twitter. They also mentioned the possibility of a winter event, not confirmed, and the likeliness of XP boost events this season as well. But there's going to be no apparel event in this season, which kind of sucks because I really like apparel events, actually. And one of my favorite parts about the season, to be honest with you. That's it for the most part. And I'm not disappointed. I think that's okay. Because this is a confirmation stream. We saw the PTS, right? And they're not going to show us too much. We did get a trailer. That was at the beginning of the stream. I will post that in my follow-up recap video on YouTube, so you can see it again. But yeah, the trailer looks good. Looks good. Everything looks good. I think it's as expected. No major positive or negative surprises. I think everything is as expected. So I'm hopefully and cautiously optimistic, going in with a positive feeling. I'm excited to get my hands on this new game mode, or what do we call it? Seasons 2.0. And it will feel like a new experience. I think it's going to feel like a different Division 2 when we get in there. So lots to explore. But that's where I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut the stream off here so I can dive in deeper on some of the things that they said and put together this recap video. And hopefully the patch notes come out. I might do them as a separate video. Depends on how intricate they are. But I'll probably do a stream recap video and then the patch notes separately is what I'm thinking. But Thanks for hanging with me today. I really appreciate you guys showing up for these streams. It mean a lot and help the community and this channel and me. And I will be up at the crack of butt crack dawn waiting for this game to go live. And they didn't mention what time this game was going to go live. And, you know, we got all the way through most of the Q&A before bouncing out. So they never said. So I hope we'll see that in some sort of post or the patch notes, something specific. And I'll be sure to let you know when I know. Thanks, everybody. See you on the flip side. See you in a few hours.